Nah, Stallion. Maybe you think you're changing. But you can't change what you really are. And you can forget all this money and stuff you got all around you, man, because it don't change a thing. You and me, we don't even have a choice. See, we're born with a killer instinct that you can't just turn off and on like some radio. We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion.
What's going on out there? This is Cigar Boxing. At the end of the day, all we are what? All we are fans. What's going on out there? I've been waiting to put up my prediction for this fight tonight. A lot of boxing going on this weekend, but I'm going to talk about the main event everybody's waiting on tonight. Old versus young. A legend versus a star and a champion. I'm talking about Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao versus Keith one-time Thurman for the Super WBA Welterweight Championship of the World in Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand Arena. Yeah, baby, yeah. I am starting to get pumped up and excited about the fight. Fans were all putting up videos. And before I get into my prediction and my thoughts on this, I want to point out a few things. Those of us who are putting out videos, I thank y'all for all the videos that y'all are putting out. Anybody who watches my channel, I'm thankful. But it's good to hear about boxing. People are excited about boxing, and we're not talking about money. How many of you have noticed that with this fight, we're not talking about how much Manny Pacquiao is getting paid or Keith Thurman? And it's refreshing, it's fresh not to hear about this money. We're just talking about the fight. We're talking about warriors, okay? The old warrior in Manny Pacquiao, the last of the Mohicans. And Rosspot 222, I give it to you. Like I said, I made a video before talking about the last of the Mohicans. This is an end of an era of a warrior, Manny Pacquiao, where Manny Pacquiao fights everyone in front of him. And I said in the video before, he's not fighting, MMA fighters. He's fighting who he is supposed to fight. He is taking on the challenges that are in front of him instead of avoiding them. He's taking on, he could have fought anybody, but he chose to take on the champion. So Manny Pacquiao needs to be applauded for that. Not many guys are doing that right now. B-Hop was one of the last to do it, where he's an older fighter and took on the young champions and took what he needs, went in there and got them belts and challenged himself. Fighters aren't doing that now. Fighters aren't doing that now. So much respect to Manny Pacquiao. What I like to do when I look at, before I do predictions, and I don't do many, I go back and I look at the last 3 to 4 fights of both of these guys, and then, I state the facts and to give you my opinion, okay? Let's look at the facts. One of the things that we keep talking about is, Manny Pacquiao and T-Rex arms and this and that. Manny Pacquiao is the smaller fighter, but Keith Thurman isn't much bigger than him. He's a little bit taller by 1 or 2 inches, but when you look at reach, I think Keith Thurman has a 69 centimeter reach, and Manny Pacquiao has a 67. So it's not that much of a difference there. But when you just look at size, like at the weigh-in, when you looked at the weigh-in and the size, there's a big size difference between these guys. What's going on right now with the welterweights, in my opinion, is the welterweights are shrinking down because Keith Thurman is truly a middleweight. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Keith Thurman is a middleweight. The same thing with Sean Porter, who used to fight at junior middleweight. Same thing with Spence. Spence talking about fighting Canelo because he is a middleweight. These guys are huge, shrinking down to get down to welterweight. That needs to be said off the bat, okay? The thing that worries me about this fight is the volume of punches that are thrown in between the two fighters. If you look at Manny Pacquiao's last fight against Adrian Broner, he threw about 568 punches, which his punch output has been coming down. Manny Pacquiao's been more defensive in his career ever since the knockout by Marquez in their 4th fight. Keith Thurman, in his last fight against Josecito Lopez, threw about 899 punches. That's a big difference in punches. And Keith Thurman was in trouble in that fight and still let his hands go. Remember, I said, still let his hands go. Okay? So, and the other thing you got to think about is Manny Pacquiao's been fighting in the past 2 to 3 years. Right now, in under a year, just about a year, this will be his third fight, where Keith Thurman's only had one. So the question is Keith Thurman going to have any rust on him when he gets in the ring tonight? We don't know. We don't know. But from a boxing standpoint, like we always say, styles make fights. Okay? Manny Pacquiao's getting older. Okay? From my standpoint, has he lost a step? Yes, he has. Adrian Broner fight, he won that fight, but he's definitely slower. His footwork is slower. His punches are slower. That's why Manny started getting tagged later on in that fight. Once Adrian Broner got used to the power and the speed, Broner started noticing that I'm faster than him as far as quickness and reflexes. That's why Adrian Broner started timing him and countering him later on in the fight. That's why Adrian Broner also thought he won, because of some of that, okay? Of course, Adrian Broner didn't win, but still, that's why he thought he won. And the thing I noticed that the punch is last thing to go from a fighter, but the footwork, when I look at Manny Pacquiao's footwork, it's nowhere near where it used to be. Okay? One of the things that Keith Thurman has is his footwork and balance is really, really, really good. Okay? And I argue with anybody out there, he has probably the best footwork out of any welterweight right now. Okay? That even means Errol Spence Jr. But the thing I keep looking at and keep thinking is, not only is Keith Thurman bigger, I think he hits harder than Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao hasn't had a knockout in a while. But when you look at the record at Keith Thurman, they keep saying, well, he hasn't had a knockout in a while. Yeah, but he has 22 knockouts. That's not for nothing. And the question I have is, has Keith Thurman fully recovered from his injury? We don't know. But in the weigh-in, Keith Thurman looked really, really big. When I look at this fight, my heart definitely goes with Pacquiao, but I think this is the end of an era tonight. Okay? I got Keith Thurman winning, okay, by TKO. Late stoppage. Some of y'all are like, what? Yeah. Because it's the difference when you have a bigger man that you're fighting, and the bigger man has very good footwork, and the bigger man can box. Keith Thurman can box. I think Keith Thurman is going to disrupt his timing. And the most dangerous punch in this fight from Keith Thurman is the uppercut. Manny likes to jump and lean in, and Manny wants to hang in close. Go back and look at Keith Thurman's fights. The uppercut is there. And I think he can catch Manny with the uppercut. He doesn't have to time him and throw a right hand. I just think, and especially with Keith Thurman's jab, I know some of y'all are like, Keith Thurman's jab is going to be null and void with Manny Pacquiao's movement. As Manny Pacquiao starts to slow down in the later rounds, which he will, Keith Thurman's going to come on and apply the pressure, and them punches are going to take a toll. Them punches are harder to recover from when you're 40. But this guy is massive. This isn't like Pacquiao in his younger days fighting Antonio Margarito, who just stood in front of him. Okay, Thurman is not going to stand in front of him. Thurman's going to trap him. Manny Pacquiao's not going to be able to move like he wants to because of the footwork of Keith Thurman. People say he's straight up and down. No, he is not. Look at that footwork. The footwork is the difference in this fight. And what's the difference in this fight is if Thurman can take his punches. If Thurman can take some of his punches, which I think he can, because if Adrian Broner took his punches, and Adrian Broner's been hurt. And Adrian Broner has a good chin, so, props to him. He has a good chin for boxing. But so does Keith Thurman. And I think that's going to be the ingredients in this fight. I think the power is going to be too much. I think the footwork is going to be too much. And if you look at the opponents that Manny Pacquiao has fought lately, the opponents have all been stationary. Anytime Manny Pacquiao has to fight somebody that can move, he has problems. And I think that ends the era tonight. Some of y'all are not going to agree with this. Manny Pacquiao is a warrior. I love Manny. You know, I got his autograph. I got his picture on my wall. You know, I buy all the t-shirts to all his fights. I've supported him for years. But this is the end of an era. And Keith Thurman's era starts. I'm not saying Keith Thurman is the best fighter. If this was Manny Pacquiao, maybe 5 or 7 years ago, I would say it would be a different fight and I would pick Manny. But not now. Not after what I've seen in the past few fights. I know that Manny knocked out Lucas Matisse, but Lucas Matisse has been in some serious wars. And he's truly a 140-pounder. Manny, to knock him out, I'll give him props, but he's fighting a man that's really a middleweight. Okay, and he's fighting somebody that's been in there with much bigger guys, much bigger punchers. And I think the footwork and the quickness are going to be hard for Manny to deal with. It really is. It really is. And plus, let me say something real quick about the Thurman Lopez fight. The Thurman Lopez fight, people are acting like Josecito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky, is a bum. He is not a bum. Watch this guy and what he's done in the ring. He's a very, very good fighter. They call him the Riverside Rocky because he has a really good chin, okay? But the man can fight. And we are like, oh, Thurman didn't look that good. Bull crap. If you look at both fights, and you look at Pacquiao against Broner, Pacquiao didn't look so great. And it's not me picking on Pacquiao. It's the footwork is gone. I really think he's going to have a hard time keeping up with Thurman in this fight. Thurman and his jab, Thurman going to be jabbing to his chest, jabbing to his neck. He's not aiming for his head because I know he has, you know, good lateral movement, a good head movement. And I think once Pacquiao gets hit really good from Thurman, you're going to see a change in the fight. It's coming. Pacquiao doesn't have the same power he used to. If he comes in there and hurts Thurman and all that stuff, I'd be surprised. I think it's an uphill climb for Manny Pacquiao, and I don't think he's going to do it. I know, but I don't think he's going to do it. And I'll be the first to come back and put up a video saying that I was wrong. You know, a lot of guys make predictions and they don't want to say when they're wrong. I'll say I'm wrong. I'll be watching the fight tonight, but I got Keith Thurman by TKO or late round knockout. This fight is not going to a decision. Yeah, you heard me right. This fight isn't going to a decision. This is Cigar Box, and tell me what you think in the comments.